What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite pond, the Coy Pond, episode 126. As you know, you can find us here on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and don't forget to leave your question on SpeakPipe. We've got the NFL Draft merely about 3 weeks away from when this comes out. 3 weeks? Yeah,
right.
I think it's 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
And you know what? What better than to ask a question? You can bet on the first, I think it's the pick 3, 4, 5, and 6 on FanDuel right now, which is kind of fun. But, you know, those odds coming in and out, that's neither here nor there. And don't forget, Easter is come and gone, but nothing screams Memorial Day like a little Coy Pond merch.
That's right.
Link in the description. Like and subscribe if you like the video. But begins our... Well, no. I get ahead of myself. As you can see, my co-host is back from his darkness retreat where he spent a grueling month coming up what would be the first 7 rounds of the NFL Draft this year in perfect order, without a doubt. Coy is back in the studio. We are back in the studio, giving out mock drafts.
So 7-round perfection?
Yes. No, I've queued you up to know all of the trades.
All right.
Everything for 7 rounds.
Yes.
And that's how we will get our 200th subscriber. Will be a perfect 7-round mock.
Right on. Where are we at on subscribers, by the way?
183.
183? Okay.
Matt and I might have tanked the ratings a little bit while you were gone, but that's neither here nor there. It's the NFL offseason.
Well, and let me thank Matt for his continued
support,
and extensive fill-in time.
Yes.
Matt, thank you very much.
Shout out Matt. He comes in
clutch. Shout out Matt. Yeah.
Simple as that. Hey, round of applause. He gets put on the spot quite often when I need him, but he's a good sport about it, so always appreciate him for doing that.
Excellent.
And neither here nor, let's get right into it.
Yeah.
We're mocking, baby.
Yeah.
We're going over K-Dog's number 1 mock draft as of right now.
Yep.
We will do that for the next few weeks leading up till the NFL Draft, and the last one we give you guys will be his official mock draft that we'll be following if we get the chance this year to go out with how busy it's been.
Yeah, no, I wondered that too.
That we follow as much as we do, and there's not really much else happening in the NFL world.
Right.
Kirk Cousins signs with the Raiders. I think Matt and I might have said something about that, but I don't really know. That might have came out after the podcast episode last week.
Yeah.
But I mean, kudos to whoever's doing Kirk Cousins deals.
Yeah.
He keeps getting massive deals, massive money.
He passed up Tom Brady.
Yep.
With this contract for
it's amazing.
The most money from your career, basically. I think he's third on the list.
He has to be at least number 1 ever to make money for.
It's incredible.
If you do amount of games played to money earned.
Oh, that's true.
In the last 3 years, probably.
Yeah.
And especially with how the Falcons treated him, he kind of got the Josh Rosen. Right. How do you say Josh Rosen treatment with the money, which he didn't get. The money. But now he goes to the Raiders, and great segue into
segue
who he'll probably be training, which he goes into this role now with that expectation. I think that's a huge difference than what Atlanta sold him was a bag of tricks, and we saw how Atlanta did last year. Yeah. Now here he goes, more than likely going in to train Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't know how many mock drafts I've done now. It's probably 60 or 70. But it's so easy to get addicted to it because, you're like, well, I could see this happening and I could see that happening.
Oh, my God. The amount of combinations.
And, that's exactly it. And, you're assuming that the players that are going to go in the first round are the first ones that ESPN has rated 1 through 32, but we know that's not how it works.
Yep. Let alone trades.
Mm-hmm. So there's all kinds of shit at work with this, and it, when your mind just just goes over it and over it and over it, you're like, well, this could happen. Well, that probably won't happen, and then you try to do it again, and then some other thing looks like it won't work, or what have you, but. This one we're going to go over now, I already have a different one.
That's all right.
And there's going to be some interesting predictions if these hold up. What I'm thinking that we'll make over the next couple weeks before. For example, nobody right now would be saying anything about 3 guards going in the first round. My latest mock that I just did, is not the one we'll go over. Mm-hmm. But I think there's 3 guards that'll probably go in the first round. So that kind of stuff,
Love it.
And every time you listen to something else, it's like, is that a smokescreen or is that real?
Right.
When Pete Schrager says, I've talked to people and I just don't see a place for Ty Simpson in the first round, as an example. Are they really saying that? And if they're saying that, is that a smokescreen or is it legit? And most of the stuff seems like it over time, over the last couple of years, it is legit.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it is going to continue to be that way. So
that is the total truth.
So we start with the Raiders at 1, and I don't think there's any doubt Fernando Mendoza is definitely going to be the number 1 pick. I recently just watched Queen of the South. I don't know. It's a show on Netflix about a female drug cartel leader, and her name is Teresa Mendoza.
Oh.
So anyway, it just
Fernando
cracked me up. But, at his pro day at Indiana, it was really interesting because he was doing something different than other quarterbacks have done. For the scouts to actually give credit to his receivers, he was calling out the route they were going to run so everybody knew the route, and then they would run that route with precision. And it was really kind of a thought from him that it would help his teammates go higher in the draft to show the scouts that they knew what they were doing.
Right.
So
interesting.
He'd take that snap. One interesting thing is he would pat the ball. And if you remember last year, this was a huge thing with Shedeur Sanders, that the scouts were all over him for why is he patting the ball before he throws it?
Right.
Well, Mendoza did the exact same thing, and nobody said shit.
Oh, man.
So,
little microscope maybe.
Just throwing that out there.
You may not be crazy.
Interesting from his pro day, Fernando Mendoza data points. But so there we go. We know the Raiders are going to take him. There's no way they don't.
That would be one of the biggest
shockers.
Look over here.
Yeah.
We actually go here moments. I think one of the biggest ones.
He's and there's not many people. We've talked about this in past years. Generational talent.
Yeah.
Players that are considered generational talent. Travis Hunter last year was, as an example. There's not as many this year. There might be 3, maybe 4.
There's a few being talked about, but it doesn't feel like you have that one that is like going above and beyond that everyone's talking about religiously almost.
They still seem to be saying Mendoza is probably a quarterback savant,
right? And
so there's just no way the Raiders quarterback needy. Even if you have David Bailey or Arvell Reese or somebody higher than the Mendoza, they're going with the need right there at the top. The difference for them is huge. They need the quarterback. We know Kirk Cousins is there to mentor.
And with how they spent their free agency, you can see they've built a team for a new quarterback.
Yeah.
There's very little to be left to doubt about this pick, but I'd be damned.
Yeah.
If that were to go a different direction, that would be insane.
It would be. So we move on to the Jets at number 2 then. And most people have Arvell Reese going here.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that Arvell Reese was listed as a linebacker for a long time, and over the last couple of weeks, he's been changed to edge.
I've thought the same thing.
So we'll see. I mean, Arvell Reese going 2. David Bailey, edge from Texas Tech, who's also regarded as a huge talent. It could be either one of those guys in there. I don't see the Jets taking Jeremiah Love, the running back.
No.
Because they're going to bring Breece Hall back, I believe. And they also have a really good backup there, Braylon Allen. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So I would say it's either going to be Arvell Reese and David Bailey. In this mock, I have David Bailey going 2. He is regarded as kind of another Micah Parsons.
Okay.
And so I think the Jets go for the pass rusher here. At 3, the Cardinals, I could easily see them going Jeremiah Love. They need a running back.
James Conner's had some injury problems over the last few years, that's for sure.
Had some issues.
They did have the 3, though. And God forbid, I can't remember the other 2 off the top of my head, but it was the one that fumbled in the end zone when he was running it in. But they've got it. The thing is, they've got depth at running back.
Michael Johnson or something, I think?
It was like Arkham or something. I can't remember.
Okay.
It was a funky last name, but that's the only reason I don't think they're going Jeremiah Love at 3 is because while James Conner's had health issues, he's been great when he's healthy. They've also found 2 other running backs in that same room that I'm pretty sure they kept this season while they've dealt with a lot of other problems on that team.
True. So in this mock, I've got David Bailey going 2 to the Jets. From Texas Tech, I've got Arvell Reese going to the Cardinals at 3. And then at 4, I've got Jeremiah Love going to the Titans, finally off the board. I think, they've got Tony Pollard, but we know he's not going to carry the load.
Yeah, and they've also got, oh my God, who's that other running back they've got there? Oh, shoot. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll remember it later after I'm editing this, but I feel like that talent of Jeremiah Love is going to be too great not to pick him at 4.
I would think so, too, and I just don't see Love going at 2 or 3 with those quality edge rushers on the board.
I agree.
So we go to the Giants at 5. I think there's a multitude of things the Giants could do here.
Yes.
John Harbaugh might want to build the trenches. There's plenty of offensive tackles right here. He may want to go with a big play receiver like Carnell Tate.
Yep.
That's on the board there. I could see him going with Reuben Bain from Miami, another edge rusher.
Yep. Pass
rushers, as we know, are premium.
Especially when you have the problems they're having with the Giants. Was it Abdul Carter right now? Or is
Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, the D tackle.
They have a couple problems over there on the line right now.
Yep. Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, could be an option for him there, too. They have a need at safety. Corner, there's a couple really good corners there. So in this mock, I have Carnell Tate going to the Giants. Okay. They get a playmaker, and away they go.
Yeah, and it's like you said, once you get into the defensive side of things, you look at each team, it's like, do you take the talented edge? Do you take the need at corner? Do you take the trenches of offensive tackle after watching Jackson Dart and Scattaboo get murdered last year? It's really going to come down to what does Harbaugh want to do, and it's so weird to think that he's on the Giants now.
It is so strange. And we're gonna get to listen to him at Miami's graduation in a few weeks, which is actually really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
So John Harbaugh is going to be the commencement speaker, and so especially now that he's playing against the Giants or the Cowboys twice a year, it's even more interesting for me.
We'll have to see if we run into him.
Yeah, and he's the brother of your head coach.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a fun thing with the Miami connection there.
It is hilarious.
So that'd be awesome if we did. Browns at 6. I think they go with the best offensive tackle on the board.
Yeah.
They're setting up to protect Shedeur Sanders. So I think Francis Mauigoa is the pick here from Miami.
Yep.
Again, Miami's got a lot of good players. Ohio State's got a lot of good players on the board. I think that's what happens there.
I agree.
Washington at 7. We have the next best edge rusher, again from Miami, Reuben Bain Jr., come off the board. They could easily go safety. It could even go wide receiver. But I think in this case, the Browns take the need of the tackle, so edge falls to the Commanders, Redskins.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at that defense, especially from last year, the Commanders gave up some of the most yards per play. I think they might have been the 3rd worst. And they've got to address that. Yeah. Obviously, when you have Jaden Daniels back and he's healthy, I don't think there's much to be left wondering. They didn't have a great need at wide receiver. They're still figuring out Deebo Samuels, and they still have Terry McLaurin. So, you got those two still. They can put any third in that spot.
Yeah.
They got to address that defense.
Yeah, I think so, too. And again, with the head coach there being defensive-minded, I think they go that route.
They want to get a premium on defense for sure.
I think the Saints, they take the LSU standout corner, Mansour Delane.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great pick for them. Their defense wasn't kind of what it used to be.
Yeah, they've lost a few pieces. I know, is it Jordan Davis that I think is still in free agency shopping teams? Like, they've lost some veteran pieces back there, and they're going to need to start building it back up. Yeah. And when you see Tyler Shook have the year he does, and I don't think they've lost Chris Olave just yet.
Right.
I think he is in free agency, but we'll see if he signs back with them.
Yeah.
You just want to build that defense. That team was struggling on everything last year. Until the end, they brought it back. But if they have some of those corners, they don't get those deep plays against them. I think that's a great move.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Chiefs at 9, I could see them going receiver here potentially. But I really think what they need to do is shore up that offensive line again to make sure that Pat Mahomes is protected. They have a good running game. The tackle from Georgia, Monroe Freeling.
Yep.
I think is likely to be the pick here.
I think that's a great move by them. If they were to, obviously, wide receiver is something to be talked about with how their offensive production kind of fell off last year a little bit.
Yeah.
And now, you got to address that while also addressing losing two of your corners to the Rams, basically.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what route the Chiefs take because at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes can probably get it done with anybody, but Patrick Mahomes is going to probably be a couple weeks late to the season this year after that Achilles injury.
Yep. And you're right. I mean, they could go corner there as well. Jamar McCoy from Tennessee has a little injury history, but is a really standout corner after Mansour's off the board. So that could be the pick there as well.
This will be such an interesting draft.
Yeah. Caleb Downs, Ohio State safety. I mean, regarded as a guy that can just come out and command the defense. Sonny Styles at this point is still on the board in my mock.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people have him dropping that far, but I really think that Caleb Downs is that good at quarterback in the defense that he could even go higher than this, but he's sitting there for the Bengals at 10, and I think they take him.
Lord knows the Bengals need any help they can get on defense. They'll be fine on offense. That defense, they just need to start putting pieces to it. And I think they had some good additions in the offseason, so I could see safety being one they're able to draft for.
I got the Dolphins taking the receiver from USC at 11. They have to replenish the receiving core.
They have
to. They've lost...
they had Tyreek Hill. They had Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
I can't remember where Waddle went, but I don't think he's there anymore.
Yeah, I think he left too.
He signed a big deal somewhere else.
So I think Mekhi Lemon from USC is the pick here, wide receiver.
Yep, I agree.
The Cowboys, against all odds, somehow in this mock, Sonny Styles is on the board at 12. That's probably me wishful thinking.
It's all right.
Because I've seen many people say he could drop down, and I'm like, well, how could that happen? So as I kind of worked this one, I kind of worked through the justification with everybody else of why he would be down there. But he is what do they call it? He's the green dot guy.
Okay, kind of the play caller for the defense.
Yep, and the Cowboys desperately need that. Whether they get him here or whether they move up, I could see they seem to be falling in love with him. And I could see them doing something to move and get him.
I could see it too. I mean, Cowboys defense, obviously the offense is in a fine spot at the moment.
Yeah.
Pieces in defense.
Yeah, it really is. The Rams at 13 could do a multitude of things as well, but Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon, is a inline speedster. The Rams like their tight ends.
Right.
And Matt Stafford has done a great job of integrating them into the passing offense. I think they go for a playmaker here that opens things up, and I think the Rams just get more dangerous.
I would love that for the sole fact that would steal basically the Ravens' replacement, Isaiah Likely.
Yep.
That would be immaculate.
And that is the other place I had him going to.
Mm-hmm. I think it's one of the two, personally.
Yeah, I think it also could be the Panthers, but I don't think he drops that far.
You never know, but I would agree. More likely I'm feeling Rams or Ravens on that one.
The Ravens need to replenish the secondary, so here I have Jermod McCoy, corner from Tennessee, going there. So
that makes sense.
Enough said on that, I think.
Yeah.
Number 15, the Buccaneers, Keldrick Falk, pass rusher from Auburn.
Yeah.
I could see the Cowboys taking him if Styles is not there. Keldrick Falk is going to be a great pass rusher for a long time, I think, in the NFL.
Yeah, and I mean that Tampa Bay secondary at the end of that season was beat up, hurt. I want to almost say inexperienced, mainly. And while that's a rookie, adding someone that can have an immediate impact like that will be noticed for sure.
Jets take a receiver from Arizona State, Jordan Tyson at 16. They've already addressed the defense, pass rushing.
Yep.
So I think they go for an offensive playmaker.
Yeah, pair someone with Garrett Wilson. Make it so it's not like a defense that just has to triple team him and they don't have to worry about anybody else on the field. I like it.
Yep. Caleb Lomu. The Lions have been just riddled with offensive linemen either leaving, retiring, or something happening. And I just think Dan Campbell is a former tight end, essentially an offensive lineman guy. I think he recognizes that they need to replenish there, and I think they go with the best guy on the board, and that's the tackle from Utah.
I love it.
Peter Woods. I didn't really know a lot of Peter Woods, and I read more about him over the weekend.
Yeah.
defensive tackle from Clemson. That dude is thick and strong. And at
Big
the
fella.
point of attack, I mean, I could totally see Brian Flores welcoming this guy into Viking land.
Yeah.
He's a massive guy.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem if the Vikings get him with Brian Flores for the sole purpose that Brian Flores is a defensive mastermind.
Yeah.
I know he got a bag this offseason to stay with the Vikings after that being a rumor that he might leave and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's staying, which means that Vikings defense is staying, and they've been a threat for a few years now. Fell off is the wrong word. Didn't have as much success this past season, but if they add Peter Woods, oh my God, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, it is. I think the Panthers go with offensive line to protect Bryce Young.
They have to.
Spencer Fano from Utah, offensive tackle, I think is the answer here.
It has to be an offensive tackle. If not him, someone else. There's plenty of them in this draft, especially in the first round. You watched Bryce Young last season run for his life. You watched Rico Dowdle struggle to find lanes. Hubbard struggle to find lanes. A lot of, it wasn't all on the offensive line, but it definitely feels like adding to that offensive line will make life a lot easier for a lot of people on that team.
Yeah. Cowboys, second pick,
right?
The first round at 20. They have to upgrade at safety.
Yeah.
They've got Malik Hooker and some other guys who are kind of getting up there. So they go with the safety from Oregon, Dylan Heineman. So I think that's a good pick for them there.
Yeah.
Steelers at 21. They go with Ola Vega Ione. I think it's how you say it. I think.
I believe it. I believe it for a fact.
But I totally believe that the interior line for the Steelers, if Rodgers is back,
I bet he
is going to be important, and I think he will be too. So I think that's one of my guards that I have going off the board there. But I think that inside for the run game and also for Rodgers is going to be a key.
Yeah, and I didn't watch many Steelers games religiously last year, but it did feel like there were moments where he was scrambling. And being as old as he is, that's probably not what he wants to be doing. So that might be enticing to him to partially, if he's not backed by the draft, which who knows when he makes that decision. Probably waits until the season's about to start knowing him.
Yeah.
But that would be very enticing for him to come back, as if the Steelers kind of leaned into, we need to go help him. And it's Mike McCarthy. He's going to do everything he can to make sure that Aaron Rodgers plays them one more time, I think.
Yeah.
And this would make sense, them going some sort of offensive lineman to help protect him.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I have the Chargers taking a pass rusher here.
I don't hate it.
Akeem Mesidor from Miami.
Okay.
Another Miami player coming off the board here. But, Jim Harbaugh gets his edge rusher.
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, especially with Malik. Oh, my God. Why am I... Mac.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Good Lord, that was a problem. I don't hate that. I also wouldn't hate any sort of offensive lineman.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be one of the two. They might be able to get by this season if Khalil Mack is back.
Yeah.
Since he is back, they might be able to push off getting an edge for one more year.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not an edge, or if it's not an offensive lineman, let it be an edge. Or someone on the defense I want offensive lineman. What am I saying? After watching those PFF grades from last season, that was brutal to see those rankings, and I just want someone else to be in there to help Joe Alton Slater if they go down.
Yeah, I was thinking tackle as well or offensive line as well.
Right.
But in this mock, I ended up with edge there. So
I still love it. Defensive dominance does it too.
The Eagles at 23, they need to replenish their offensive line. We all know their defensive line is great.
Yes.
But their O-line tackles had some injury issues last year. And I think Caden Proctor from Alabama is a perfect prospect for the Eagles.
I think there's a better chance than not that A.J. Brown stays with the Eagles. I know there's been a lot of talk about him going to the Patriots with Vrabel. Obviously, the scandal of Vrabel and Diana
Russo?
Diana Rossini?
Yeah, is that it?
Diana Rossini? I think that's I said the name right there. There's obviously been that scandal going on right now. Whether that helps or hurts that A.J. Brown trade, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But in the end, I feel like if the Eagles don't want to get rid of A.J. Brown, this will solidify that by taking a tackle. Or on the off chance we see the Eagles take a wide receiver, whoever's left on the board here.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting. To think if A.J. Brown's still on the team, do the Eagles trade A.J. Brown and switch spots, or they would go down? I don't know.
Yeah,
there's something here that could happen with A.J. Brown, but I want to say he's going to be the Eagles still.
Yeah, very, very much so. It's interesting. From Indiana, stays in the Midwest for the Browns at 24. Omar Cooper Jr.
Yep.
You could almost say it's the return of Amari Cooper.
To some extent.
Pretty close.
Damn close.
Yep. But as we all know, Indiana won the championship. Yep. So when you get an Indiana player this year, you're going to have winners coming into your ball club. So I think...
And they need that offensive help.
Yeah, they need that help, too. That Shedeur Sanders pick.
Yep.
The Bears go with the defensive line help from Ohio State, Caden McDonald.
Okay.
Solid player, projected to go in the first round across most mocks I've seen. And so I can easily see them going with the best player here.
Yeah.
The Bills need to get some receiver help for Josh Allen. This is Casey Concepcion, wide receiver from Texas A&M.
Yep.
Just so happened that Dave Concepcion, the Reds World Series shortstop, was at the opening day here a couple weeks ago, so I started seeing this Concepcion name again, too.
Any relation?
I don't know. It's a good question.
So there's possibility.
It very well could be. You know, it's just like I wondered with Caleb Downs from Ohio State. There's a guy named Michael Downs that was safety for the Cowboys for a long time that was really good.
Well, you see more of that these days, that's for sure.
You really do.
And not to mention... When you look at the Bills, it's going to be that or I don't know what happened to Keon Coleman last season.
Yeah,
that's still I never dug into it.
Don't know if he was hurt.
Bad podcasting on me, but it was an interesting situation.
Yep. Offensive tackle from Clemson for the Niners at 27.
Yep.
I think they want to make sure and keep Brock Purdy upright. He's great, but he needs some help there a little bit. And Blake Miller is the best offensive tackle on the board at this point.
Especially thinking about what Trent Williams is going to do. They're still figuring that out actively.
28, the Texans go for defensive line help from Georgia, Christian Miller. The best prospect on the board at that point. We saw the Chiefs earlier go with a tackle at 9. So they go address the corner position. Colton Hood from Tennessee is definitely a first-round talent.
I love it. I mean, they're going to have to address these things.
Yeah. Pass rusher goes to the Dolphins at 30. Zion Young, edge rusher from Missouri.
Yeah.
Best one left on the board here. So they improve the offensive side of the ball with a receiver at 11. Come back and get the defense, get a pass rush at 30.
Yeah.
The Patriots at 31. Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker from Texas Tech, another green dot play caller.
Okay, a little bit of more of a leader on the defense at the line.
And when you think about the coach
Vrabel,
when you think about Vrabel, linebacker here, Teddy Bruschi, and all those guys, I think he fits right in with that kind of history.
I agree. This is also another spot I feel like you could see a guard go.
Yeah.
After what happened to the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and not necessarily throughout the playoffs, but it was noticeable in the playoffs, is needing some help. Obviously, their offensive tackle that was hurt that came back, that was battling through injury, that was its own separate thing. But I wouldn't be surprised if, again, trenches, but just other side of the trenches. But trenches nonetheless, I would assume.
Totally. Seahawks definitely need some help in the secondary for this next season to defend their Super Bowl title. So they go corner from South Carolina, Brandon Cease, I think is how you say it.
Yeah, they got picked apart a little bit after the Super Bowl, as it works.
Yep. And so that pretty much rounds out our first round.
Yeah, and on that note, I could also see the Seahawks going with another running back.
Yeah.
Who that is, I don't know, but obviously you lose Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs. He gets his bag. Could be that. Also, some point in the last 3 to 4 picks, I could see one of these teams trading for more picks. Not the Dolphins, because they already have a stash of them.
Yeah.
Maybe the Seahawks, since they've lost a few of their picks this season. I could see the Jets trading back in for Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I think that's possible.
Kudos to Pete Schrager. I've been reading a lot of his mock draft analysis stuff. But some of these teams really do need a quarterback, whether you're the Cardinals or Jets. Obviously, the Jets in this draft, I think, do have a couple in the first round. Or maybe, they have at least 2, because they have the second and 16th here, assuming you didn't make any trades in this.
Yeah, no trades in this one. Yep.
So Jets have the second and 16th pick. They might be able to give up some capital to try and get back in to get them before they think someone else might.
Yeah.
But I can also see the Cardinals playing that same mind game now that they don't have Kyler Murray to be like, hey, Jacoby Brissett's great. Why don't we get someone else so that once this is over with, we were ready to go and don't have to play this song and dance again. I think some teams have been favoring him later in the draft. It might be the early second round. I saw that, though. No, I'm sorry. The reason someone would jump back in at the end of the first round to grab him is so that you'd have that fifth-year option.
Oh, that's right. That's the key. Yep.
That's the key. So it'll be we might see a game of leapfrog here. Obviously, who knows who pulls trigger first. In the past, we've seen some teams take some players crazy high compared to where we had them going, whether that's the Jets getting back in with like the Steelers at 21, or whether that's they do that, get someone else and come back in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it could go any way, but that's just something I want to float out there because I'm imagining there's going to be a line for quarterbacks taken in the first round you can bet on.
Yeah.
That's going to be over under 1.5 is probably what's going to be set at, and I will be hammering the over if it comes out. DraftKings does a lot better draft picks. FanDuel's kind of lame when it comes to that stuff because they don't want to lose too much money.
Yeah.
But I could see a team sneaking back in to get Ty Simpson in this draft.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think it could happen at the start of the second round.
Yep.
But you're right. It also could happen down here somewhere, too.
Just thinking about it.
Yep.
But Lord Almighty. First round, first mock draft.
There you go.
There it is. And on that note, look for more iterations of the mock draft. We'll see if any news happens in the NFL. Lord knows this is not the most boring time. It's probably after this when it's the only thing you'll hear about are injuries from the end of the draft until like the beginning of preseason.
That's right. We get schedule release. I think usually the week before the draft.
That is a beautiful
then
social
we get
media
the draft,
time.
and so this April's is pretty active for the NFL.
It really is, and then it's like once you hit May
Yep.
till that like August, it really sucks.
Rookie OTAs, all that crap.
All you'll hear about is bad news about your favorite player going down with an injury.
That's it. I remember you saying that last year. And
Yeah,
it's true.
it's true.
That's all there is.
If you get an ESPN notification that's based around the NFL, it's not going to be good news.
Yeah.
There will still be some free agency signings. That'll be fun. Aside from that, though, most of the big guys are already gone. And on top of that, you don't want to see your favorite team in the headlines for a little bit.
Yeah, that's
nothing
exactly.
will ever beat at Norris Lake and seeing Joe Holt's out for the season or Rashawn Slater was out for the season. It was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and you said it too. You could see the Seahawks taking a running back. The backup to Jeremiah Love is a very talented guy. I've seen many people saying he was kind of
Jadarian Price.
Yep, he was just kind of missed because of the attention Love got.
Yep,
but I could definitely see somebody like that going down there too.
And who knows? It could very well be if the Seahawks are like, "Hey, we don't want to give up this pick.
Yeah,
we want our running back." And the Jets like, well, we want our fifth-year option on a quarterback that we can only get in this round. What if we switch you and maybe if they have a quick second round, they switch with the Jets or the Seahawks. Seahawks switch with the Jets, and then they get it done. Something like that makes sense, but we'll have to see. All these owners, all these general managers, all these coaches have their own weird things, and we'll dive more into that next time. But until then, all of you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you all next week on the Coy Pond. Peace!